Hey guys, this is FPL Tips and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League live stream. Guys, if you can hear me and see the video, please mention it in the chat. Just confirm and check the audio. I think we're good to go. Hi Varun. Okay, we'll start with my team. So I made a couple of changes as you guys can see already. I brought in Saka, I brought in Muse, and I have Jimenez. I also brought in Alonso. So as it stands, this is what my team looks like. This live stream is going to be about all possible permutation and combinations. There's no best player or best pick. It's just the best. You'll have to take your chances because when it comes to City, especially, you know it's going to be a chance who's going to score, who's not going to score, who's going to play, and all of that has to be taken into consideration. So I will making a couple of drafts, and yeah, we'll talk about it. Varun says choose one Saka and Alonso versus Mount and Justin. I think I will go Mount and Justin. I think just keeping that clean sheet from Leicester is a safe thing, and then you also have the option of going of Chelsea's attack and going for that as well. So yeah, my answer would be Mount and Justin. Okay, so here are the thoughts I have in my mind regarding some players. I'm just gonna let it down. So there are some players which are essential in my team. I'm not gonna shuffle around them. Which is Henderson, Leno, they're nailed. They're not gonna be shuffled. I have Lundstrom is nailed only if I get to know that he's gonna start in the match. If we get early lineups, I think I'm gonna play him. Cias is nailed unless and until I'm going for Doherty, which is also an option I'm considering. Grealish is nailed, Barnes is nailed in my team, Justin is nailed, Sterling, De Bruyne, Aguero, all are nailed. So we're looking at four positions at the moment. We're looking at a defender, a midfielder, and two attackers. Yes, I'm going Saka, Alonso, but I'm not convinced. I'm just trying out different templates at this moment. The thing with Saka is I know he might play one match in the midfield, but if it's a match against City, do you think he'll score or do you think he'll provide an assist? That's a big question. And if he's winning one match, is it a good risk to take him over Fleck or Cantwell? Another doubt is that I might take Fleck because I read a stat on Twitter tonight which said that the Aston Villa team and Newcastle team have conceded a lot of goals through set pieces. Fleck is on set pieces. Well, it could really boost his chances of getting a goal or assist. So that's on my mind. I have point one to play around with. So I might just go Alonso. I'm also actually thinking of dropping a Wolves attacker completely altogether. So what I'm looking at is Jimenez out, I'm looking at Muse out, I'm looking at Tammy Abraham in, Samata in, Fleck in, and I'm gonna go Doherty at the back. So that's my strategy at this moment. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me because it's showing rendering on my screen. I I hope you guys can hear me. As I said, I'll go Abraham and I'm looking at Samata. So yeah, Abraham Samata. So if I take Doherty, okay, that doesn't fit. So I'll have to remove Doherty. I have to go Saka to Fleck. There's probably some delay in the chat because I just received Varun's chat saying that he can hear me. I asked him a couple of minutes ago. Okay, Ojasvi Daga also said I can hear. They can hear me, so that's cool. So okay, I might go this. I might essentially go this in the attack and midfield. I can just maybe I'm just too doubtful about Jimenez' performance, but this is the team I'm looking at. I'm still not sure about Samata. I think he'll. I know people are talking a lot about Aston Villa, how fit they are and how well they're training and all of that, but I don't see them scoring a lot of goals. They haven't passed the eye test for me. Okay, Varun says the chat is 30 to 45 seconds late. Thanks, Varun. Thanks for letting me know. So I'll just slow down the pace. Well, okay. So this is a template we're looking at, but then we're going all out attack instead of Wolves. Wolves, and basically we're going Chelsea rather than Wolves. Well, I feel Chelsea has a greater chance to score than Wolves. Okay, so this doesn't allow me to have Doherty in my team, so that's a problem. We might also just let go money off from Van Hanol to maybe Ward or Cahill, because then I think if I'm not going Wolves attacker, I need Doherty in my team. Allows me 4.6. What will I get at? I think I'll get all the crystal defenders for sure. Ake is 4.8. Ake is a good attacking threat player. Varun says over the entire season, Jimenez has top in big chance created and expected goal involvement. Yes, in forwards, I think he is one of the top. I think Rashford has the highest expected goals and gave me 30 plus. Jimenez faces West Ham, who are ranked second for big chances and shot inside the box. Since Moyes has taken over. That's a very interesting stat, and that really defines who should we take. But I don't. But the entire Alonso move depends on whether Reece James is playing or not, because there is a chance if Reece James is fit and he's playing, Alonso might not get the start you want. There are five substitutions. Obviously, they can rotate, but he might not get the start. And getting a start in a double gaming and securing those 2 points are really essential, not just in double gaming but in any game we can, especially when you're playing bench boost. So okay, we might actually consider then let's just nail Jimenez into our team. So we restore Jimenez. Then I think instead of I'm going to keep Fleck, that's for sure. I'm going to keep Lundstrom, so we need that money. So we need someone to fill this place. I really want Tammy Abraham in my team. I think then instead of Jimenez, we'll have to go to Yota. I think that's a better move. We go CS out, Jimenez out. We can go Yota in and Doherty in. So that's decent. Then we can go Tammy. Samata double game week will start board. But the thing is, will he score or will he get involved in any goals scored by Aston Villa? They look sharp. It's a do or die match situation for them. But yet again, try Mount in place of Fleck. I want Fleck over the Sheffield United defense. That is because if I'm taking Samata or Grealish, if if I'm taking Samata, let's suppose if I'm taking Samata in my team, and if Samata scores, I will get Samata's point, but I will lose the clean sheet for three defenders. That's something that's on the top of my mind. Hence, I want Fleck in my team, and he's guaranteed to start. He'll play around 150 minutes, and that's there. That's the reason I also included Lee Moose. He has a good record of scoring a goal or getting involved in a goal every 112 minutes, which is ranked third if you look at the players involved in the double game. Varun says Barnes out and Mountain. Barnes out and Mountain. That's a close call. That's something really debatable. We'll have to see because it all it, this all comes down to the point because I don't have a lot of team value. I think the chat is lagging a lot. Barnes instead of Mount. I really want Abraham, so I don't know if I should. I think I'll just give up the fact of Jimenez for Yota and then select Abraham. I think I want Abraham more than I want Jimenez. Essential plus double gaming. Okay, we'll do a thing. You guys in the chat mention some players. I'll for first we'll make a team for a longer term, which is week plus if you don't have a wild card, and then we'll make a double game week set. So I'll be putting the essential plus I think which everyone should have, irrespective if you have a double game week or not. So we'll first do the non wild card thing, and then we'll shift to the wild card part. So I'm removing everyone. So I think Justin is essential. I think Barnes is not. Grealish is. De Bruyne is. Abraham is not. Aguero is not. And Jota is not. So yeah, we'll start with this. Uh, so we'll now fill up the need for the double game week as well as the long term if you don't have a wild card. Okay, remember it's for the wild card. It's not for the wild card. So first we'll restore Jimenez. I think he is necessary for this game week and the game weeks to come. Uh, he's a good. He's going to score goals. Varun says, not seen those fixtures. I think I know some. So, the fixtures are certainly good only for three teams. If I remember, it's Wolves. Certainly, Manchester United have great fixtures, and then so Tottenham Hotspurs have great fixtures. But I'm not targeting Tottenham Hotspurs players right now because I don't know their form, how they're going to perform. We have no report from the friendlies. So, yeah, tripling about the Sheffield defense for 30 plus might be a good idea. Villa are fourth from the bottom, big chances over the season. In life, are the worst big chances in the past 10 game weeks. Varun, if you ask me tripling on Sheffield United defense, well, that's a good strategy. But there also contradicts the point that we're including two attackers from Aston Villa. So that really makes including Samata baseless actually. That could see big man Bakar. If you don't know that man, he's our friend. If you've not followed him on Instagram or Twitter till now, make sure you follow him. He writes for the Fantasy Football Hub and he's a great. His highest rank was fourth, I think, world overall. So let me know in the chat. I'm not sure if people want the double game week draft first or the non wildcard draft first. Let me in the chat first. Let me know in the chat first what draft do you want? Okay, I still haven't received anything from the chat. I think it's lag. It's because of the chat is lagging. Guys, mention it in the chat which draft should we follow up first because we have to anyways complete two drafts and then I'll discuss two drafts on my mind. Those are two. really differential drafts, and I don't think you'll have seen that a lot on Twitter or Instagram. So yeah, we could talk about those as well. Varun says no one's commenting, only four watching. Okay, so Varun, you, I think everyone else will follow. So we'll do the bench boost plus wildcard draft first. We'll just focus on the bench boost team, and yeah, that's it. Well, lots absent. It's okay. People might watch it later. Well, actually, I was even planning if you guys wanted it, we could do this a lot more. I talked about it in the last stream. Because anyways, all day long we're already planning our teams and trying different combinations, and we can do it on the live chat. But nevertheless, we'll focus on the bench boost team right now. So yeah, Leno is a fit. Definitely Henderson. For the people who don't know, Henderson the contract was not sure till now, but I've the news that United have extended the loan contract. Sheffield have United have granted the permission to extend the loan, and yes, Henderson hence will be appearing in starting and featuring in both of the games. Well, people definitely are. Also, the chat on my screen, the live, it shows zero people watching. Well, definitely that's not the case because I know I have a setup who's streaming. There's definitely one, and there's definitely Varun out there. Okay, so we go Lennon Henderson, we go Justin Grealish, De Bruyne, Aguero is a must. Jimenez, people say is a must. I might then we'll select him. If we go, if we go Samata, I think we should not triple up on Sheffield defense, and I think Fleck over Saka is a better pick. So I think we'll go Fleck over Saka. I think it's a better pick, honestly. That was the initial plan. If you see uh, the first draft we made online, we could go Sterling, yes, Sterling, then and Barnes. Yeah, that's the team. You could go Barnes or Mount. They're both priced 6.2 million. If you can see, they scored 112 and 111 points, and there's not much difference in between them. So you could go Barnes or Mount. It doesn't matter depending on which team you're backing up. I'm backing Leicester. I think with Perez out, I'm going with Leicester. Varun says third city play Laporte, Ederson, or Sterling. I think I'm not trusting. I'm not investing in City's defense, especially for 6 million and removing an attacking spot. I think for me it's between Sterling, De Bruyne, Aguero, or the other combination that I had was Sterling, was De Bruyne, Aguero, and Jesus. That essentially means that out of the two strikers, someone is going to score, and either or will play. So he's 2 million cheaper than as compared to Sterling. Yes, yes, Samata scores. I get it. I at least get those points. But the fact that if I have only one Sheffield United defender, then it's okay because that just essentially means the same number of points, and that isn't much of a loss. But if maybe let's take a case. If Samata doesn't score, just maybe El Ghazi scores. I don't have El Ghazi. Maybe Magin assisted. I don't have Magin, so those points are completely lost. On the contrary, I lose two possible clean sheets as well for two Sheffield United defenders. If I three Sheffield United defenders, I lose three potential clean sheets. So that's the reason I'm not into. Anyways, the entire season has been a bit unpredictable at the end, and with the restart, teams are back, they're fit, they've been training over a while. It could go either way. Although someone is not convinced with Sterling, this is the second option I would go with. I would go with Aguero, Jesus, and De Bruyne. and just leave it to City's attack, because if someone scores, it has to be Aguero or Jesus, and I think either all will score. Uh, Varun says Aguero and Jesus genius or mad. I think it's kind of a genius move because you know either or will score. Because if you see for the entire 180 minutes, it's basically considering both players, you know they're going to share 180 minutes. So if City score three in the first and five in the next, it has to be someone out of the two. So you know there is definitely points between them. So it's just how many between them. That's it. Although this could be an approach regarding City assets. If someone really wants another Arsenal player, go for Saka, but that's just a one match thing. And entirely depends if he plays in the midfield or not. Second to our draft, we'll restore Sterling since Warren says Samata is a good pick and Samata will score. We'll include Samata as well. Oh, I just missed Samata, I think. Yeah. So we have this set as our attack and midfield. Clearly stated as before, just uh, one click away, and you can do that anytime because there are no price rises. So you don't have to worry about that, and you can clearly do that. In defense, Lundstrom only if he is there on the team sheet, and we know he's going to start definitely. With Jimenez in a team, I don't think there is a necessity of having a Doherty because you already have a very attacking player from Wolves. So maybe you can just let go of Doherty and take a player like Cias or Bolly. I think Bolly is more attacking than Cias. Maybe he has more goals. Ozil is a nice pick, but where do you fit Ozil? The question is that does Ozil stand a place instead of Barnes and will he score more than Barnes? We can actually try fitting Ozil instead of Barnes. He's something 7 million, I think, if I'm not wrong. Yes, he's 7.3. So we have 9 million to fit two players. And that if you pick Ozil, you eliminate the choice of having Alonso. Clearly, you cannot pick Alonso because it's 6.2 and you cannot have a 3 million defender. So you'll have to go cheap on one more defender. You could go target. You could go target at 4.4. And then 4.8, you can bring Ake player like Lascelles or Ward or Cahill. I would go Ake. If you're looking for goals, go for Ake because Ake has a lot of involvement in goals. If you see all over the season, he's around 10 involvements, and that's a lot if you ask to me for a defender. This is the most balanced and most inclusive double game week draft we've made till date. So you know you can switch Jimenez to Jota, Cias to Doherty. That's completely possible. Varun says, is Alonso essential? If you want to own a Chelsea midfield, I don't think you can fit any Chelsea player apart from removing Samata or Jimenez. So if you look at that point, if you want a Chelsea player, you have to get an Alonso. He is at the form he's in, the attacking threat he possesses is exceptional. I think yes, he looks like kind of an essential. And yet again, I see zero people watching the stream, so then we'll do a different draft and end the stream. This is a very balanced draft, in my opinion. This contains almost all players involved in the double game week, all major players, and pretty much is just dot 100 million. So you can get in players if you brought them cheap. If you have some players who you already had brought earlier in the season are cheap to you, like Jimenez or maybe Kevin De Bruyne or Lundstrom, then that will allow you to bring more expensive players to your team. And for the first time, it looks like the stream chat is okay. Varun, is it still lagging? Is but that again was my point. If that again my was my point that Alonso is essential if you cannot fit a Chelsea midfielder or attacker and you want them. So if you're okay with just letting go Fleck or Saka or maybe Cantwell for that position and getting Mount, I think Mount is a safer pick because if Reece is fit, Alonso may not start and might get rotated. Even though also I feel that Mount will also get rotated. So that's going to be the case, but still that's completely outside. But I think Justin and Mount will score more points. That assumption is based on the fact that who will score more points collectively. As a start, I think if you ask me as my prediction, I think Ozil plus Lacazette will score more points combined than Aubameyang. Okay, I think the chat is lagging too much and we've only one people watching. So Varun, we'll make a final draft and then we might just want to shift to Instagram and talk over the DMs because anyways, not a lot of people are watching this. And also, I think the chat is lagging too much. There's something YouTube has to fix. Okay, so we'll do a last draft. I think that's going to be my team. Not in the team and compromise on Yota and CS. And can I go Yota plus Doherty, go Van Aanholt to Ward and some defender? Yeah, well, we'll have to shift some time, some other time when there are more people. That's about it, obviously. So yeah, I was saying Doherty and Yota, maybe not Van and all. We could go some cheap player like let's try taking Ake. Okay, Varun, see you later, mate. I'll just complete the draft and make it. Okay, that's not possible. So we'll have to look at some other alternative. So we'll do this some other time, mate. We'll just wind it up on here on this note. So we still do not have a perfect draft. So that's it for tonight's live stream. This is FPL Tips signing off. Cheers.